Is it fair to say that Mr. Digambar Kamath is like the Yediyurappa of Goa?
I'll put it in one line. If Yediyurappa was hip deep in mines, mud of the mine, Digambar Kamath probably is already sunk in it.
So you're very much here to stay?
God will decide.
Hello and welcome to Truth versus Hype. The state of Goa has emerged as the epicenter of the latest links between mining violations and political corruption, drawing the inevitable comparisons to Bellary and the inevitable speculation about whether Chief Minister Digambar Kamath will go the way of Yediyurappa. Even if that turns out to be the case, it means understanding the distinct nature of the history of mining in Goa and also the very deep political interests in the mining sector, interests that run so deep that it has virtually compromised the state machinery and raised serious questions about whether removing the Chief Minister will act in itself to try and check the crisis. Since the time of the Portuguese, mining has been intricately linked to life in Goa. When two of Goa's best-known football clubs, Dempo and Salgaonkar, play each other, no one thinks of them as being owned by Goan mining companies, which they are. The first Chief Minister of independent Goa was a mine owner. But in 2007, backed by Chinese demand, the price for the low-grade iron ore produced in Goa jumped almost 3 times in 1 year. And Goa's legacy of mining was overturned with devastating impact. On the edges of the forested town of Revon in South Goa is mine number 2852. On paper, it is operated by the old mining firm of Shantilal Kushaldas. But its real owner is Anil Salgaonkar of the Salgaonkar mining family, and currently the powerful independent MLA supporting the ruling combine. Inside the mine, we come across an even deeper political link.
Salgaonkar का माइन है?
हाँ.
कौन चला रहा है?
जोखिम को चला रहा है.
अच्छा, जोखिम चला रहा है?
हाँ.
Got all access. Fully clean man.
The mine is operated by Goa's Minister for Urban Development, Joachim Alemao, who, like Anil Salgaonkar, has been a mining player for years and perfectly positioned, like Anil, to ride the mining boom. He has supplied equipment to mine owners from his company Raisa Minerals, named after his daughter, for the past 2 decades. Many say that during the boom, Joachim became the go-to contractor.
I got nothing to do.
Now he owns all this heavy equipment. Now if you want to do illegal mining, what would you do? You don't go and buy equipment because it will get, taken away. Or there is a chance that it will be taken away. So what do? You borrow it from Joachim Alemao, because there's no way that anybody is going to take your equipment out because it belongs to Joachim Alemao.
I am a contractor, Sada contractor.
An iron ore mine owned by an MLA and run by a sitting minister pretty much says it all about the links between politicians and mining in Goa. Also in Revon is this heavily guarded mine, on paper owned by one Haider Qasim Khan, but operated through a power of attorney by Mindscape, the firm of Congress politician Dinar Tarkar.
किसका माइन है ये?
ये है हैदर कासिम खान.
Haider Qasim. But Mindscape is
Mindscape Tarkar.
Dinar Tarkar.
Dinar Tarkar.
A builder by profession, Dinar is a new entrant to Goa's tribe of politician miners, an entry many allege is smoothened by his closeness to the Chief Minister, allegations which he refused to answer on camera. Dinar and Joachim Alemao are what are called raising contractors, who operate the mines of individuals who held leases from the time of the Portuguese and who didn't have the resources to mine themselves. Like all traditional practices, it has exploded in the boom, raising worries of proxy mining, whether these individuals have actually taken permission from the government before handing over control of their mines. In the year 2000, only 11 mining companies exported ore from Goa. Last year, that list jumped to almost 120 companies. Tracing the origins of those companies and the contracts, many say would cut to the heart of violations and expose political links. But instead, the Chief Minister, who is also the Mining Minister, says they have no knowledge and even desire to probe these contracts, the first of many such answers. This is a list, sir, of all the mining which is going on through what is called raising contractors. That these are all people who are mining on behalf of others. Now, none of them have taken permission from the central government as they are meant to. So this is the first illegality.
No, as far as the Directorate of Mines are concerned, they normally always deal with the leasing. Always deal with the leasing. If leasing has some understanding with somebody and if he allows them to work, it is based on their understanding.
With the report of the Public Accounts Committee headed by opposition leader Parikar adding to the pressure, the mining department has finally admitted that just last year alone, 5 million tons of ore was exported out of Goa's ports without paying royalty to the government. The first miner to admit to illegally exporting ore is a politician. Now as the heat mounts over mining violations, Anil Salgaonkar has admitted to the mining department that he illegally exported 1.3 million tons of iron ore without paying royalty. It now remains to be seen whether the department will fine him for that amount, which comes to around 30 crores, or take stronger action. Where the government has failed to act against politician miners, local activism has stepped in. This is the now defunct Ashni Dongar mine, deep in the Columba Reserve Forest in South Goa's mining belt.
किसका माइन था ये?
अश्नी डोंगर आयन माइन वो साळोंकर ने लिया है वो.
कौन साळगांवकर?
साळोंकर, अनिल साळोंकर.
Once run by Anil Salgaonkar, its closing down is a rare victory for anti-illegal mining activism.
क्यों बंद क्यों हुआ माइन यहाँ?
वो तो नजदीक में है, फॉरेस्ट ने उसको बंद किया है.
The intense focus on mining and politics has brought to the surface fresh links. Even the head of the Goa Congress, Subhash Shirodkar, says he has an old, humbler link with the mining industry.
My mother, who used to go for head loading of railway wagons, she used to carry me along with her and then make me sit.
Head loading the mining ore.
Mining ore, and then make me sit underneath the station wagon. And that was, I think, at the age of 4. I remember it very clearly.
One which he has now converted into a successful business.
I started a little of a transport in Vasundhara Minerals. Yeah, we are 3 partners. Today I have got 4 trucks in my name and another 3 trucks in the name of my brother.
Okay.
Then another 2 trucks in the name of my other brother. So right now we have got about a fleet of about 15 trucks and 1 machine.
One of his clients is Anil Salgaonkar.
Sometimes for Anil Salgaonkar, sometimes for other miners also.
Quite apart from the legality, when we asked if these intertwined links between politics and mining is ethical, these are the answers we received.
As far as legality is concerned, I personally do not think there is anything.
To me personally, if you ask me, I have seen to it. These activities have remained away from entire political career of mine.
If I cannot work as a contractor, I don't know. I'm a citizen of India. How I live then?
Compared to their output, Goa's mining politicians might be small fry compared to Goa's bigger mining companies. But their combined political influence, many say, has weakened the mandate of Goa's mining department to check Goa's unregulated mining sector and to act against it if required. In a building in Panjim, this is the sum total of Goa's mining department. Just 14 technical officers to monitor an industry that exported over 40 million tons of ore. It has meant that mining in Goa is left to miners to self-regulate, raising worries that the same violations politicians can get away using influence, Goa's bigger players can get away because of sheer size, or both.
We've had a fairly good reputation as far as being in this industry is concerned. We've never had serious crises of confidence or crisis of reputation that the industry is facing now all over India and now trickling down to the state of Goa.
Ambar Timblo is the next generation of the Timblo mining family. His father Avdut is said to be very close to the Chief Minister.
I think sometimes when you are growing and when you have to build on your business and you're expanding your operations and creating economic value, etc. I think that the easiest thing to say is the only reason a person can do this is because of political patronage, and I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair.
Their company, Fomento Resources, is Goa's second largest. It's had explosive growth from over 6 to 16 million tons of ore in just a year. Most of which is through raising contracts, leases held by others, mined by the Fomentos.
They are involved.
I can't speak for all the industry in specific, but
in your
I can
case.
speak for at least in our case. So at the same time,
So, for example, whoever this late Mr. Narvekar, his
yes.
family, or whether it's this
Very much. We
Ravindra
work along.
Divakar
Well, that's not us. That's the differential I was talking about.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
That's
That's
quite
a
okay.
different branch of the family.
We are got a strong
Mr.
association
Agarwal.
with the family, and they are involved very much in the activities that we're conducting.
Geeta Bala Parulekar. These are all
Absolutely.
people who are involved.
Absolutely.
But who knows the answers, given the lack of oversight? In a plant like this, when's the last time somebody would have come down from the Environment Ministry or the IBM or any regulatory body?
Well, I can. I don't know the exact details.
Would this gentleman know? Would you know, sir?
Yeah. This particular mine was last inspected by IBM.
Okay.
Around 3.5 months back.
3.5 months back. Okay.
And from time to time, from other statutory authorities like DMG and all, people come.
Okay.
People come and they check some of the records.
The same questions at Goa's biggest mine, run by Sesa Goa, Goa's biggest mining firm. If the Timblos face the heat because of their alleged influence, Sesa because of its sheer size. Of a list of roughly 7 mining companies that exceeded capacity last year, Sesa Goa is shown to have gone over by about 1 million tons.
We have not gone any mines above capacity.
In the scale of violations, this may seem minor. Sesa exported around 16 million tons of ore last year. But it points once again to the absence of regular scrutiny. When is the last time that somebody would have come down to the Kodli mines from any of these regulatory agencies?
I think from last visit was from the Directorate of Mine Safety, which was maybe just 15-20 days back.
Sesa, like all mining companies in Goa, are keen to underline responsible mining rather than scale of output.
All that area is a dump. Where the mining, we dumped it over there and we are afforested. So all plantation, what you can see, is on of our dumps, which are earlier mined and kept aside.
They later took us to the nearby village panchayat office, right at the entrance of the mine. The former Sarpanch admitted Sesa had helped them.
स्कूल बनाने का, गांव में कुछ स्कूलों के एजुकेशन देने का, फीस देने का, और जहां खेती-बाड़ी चल रही है उसको पूरे तरह से सहयोग देने का.
But even he confessed there were problems of living on the edge of a massive mining zone.
जितना डस्ट हो रहा है और ट्रैफिक जाम हो रहा है, एक कोई भी बाहर का आदमी यहाँ नहीं आ सकता है. आपको भी बहुत परेशानी होगी कि यहाँ आने से कितना तकलीफ हो. अभी सावड़ा जाने के लिए बहुत तकलीफ होती है, पूरा ब्लॉक होता है. हम लोगों को माइनिंग भी चाहिए, हमारा हेल्थ भी चाहिए.
Coming up, as the voices of opposition grow to mining, so do voices of support. Have mining companies played divide and rule in Goa's rural heartland? Welcome back. Goa is a tiny state, and the debate over mining and mining corruption is not an abstraction. That debate has come right to the doorstep of the people who live in the mining belt, and it has divided them. From homegrown mining activists who are taking on the mining companies, to those who believe that mining has brought with it new opportunities. Whether you view Goa's mining belt through the ground or from the air, it's easy to see how the debate can shift from legal versus illegal mining to whether to mine at all in a state like Goa. So there's a mine, and that's the town right there.
Town is right down there. The problem is that these mines are entirely ruining the topography, not only topography, the entire environment.
This is nowhere more apparent than Bisholim, a town in North Goa located in the shadow of a massive Sesa Goa mine.
The Minister of Environment and Forest sitting at Delhi, how can they decide the fate of my village, my town, sitting in Delhi, not coming down to my town to look at what is happening at the grassroots level?
Ramesh Gons, a school teacher turned anti-mining activist, takes us to villages along the length of that mine to point out its impact. In the village of Mulgaon, there are crimson patches in the village marsh.
This is a silt from the mining which collapsed on 16th of last month, August. The entire paddy cultivation is abandoned and it is gone under the silt.
Near the village of Asnora, we get an on-ground lesson on the flaws in environmental clearances. This Sesa Goa mine here in Bisholim is a legal mine. It has environmental clearances. But that's the reason why activists are angry, because they say that even without any technical knowledge, just by looking at the mine, there are at least 3 apparent violations that are visible. Number one, the slope should have been reforested, but that's not happened, only a little bit on the top there. Secondly, they're saying that there are these cuts where the phases of the mine have collapsed, which again constitutes a violation because that's a risk. And thirdly, the most obvious, the mine is bang next to this river. This is the Asnora River, and they claim that the mining company concealed this at the time of application, which is why they got the license in the first place. But when we enter the village of Shirigaon, where mining by the Dempos and the Chogules has drained the water supply, we are confronted by opposing voices.
माइनिंग कैसा है? अच्छा है? होना चाहिए? नहीं होना चाहिए?
होना चाहिए। माइनिंग का टिप्पर है मेरा। माइनिंग से मैं खुद गाड़ी चलाता हूँ, मेरा खुद पेड़ पालता है।
This is the landscape of Goa's mining hinterland and the source of its greatest divide. Trucks crammed into every available corner, the result of mining companies outsourcing transport to locals. There are 15,000 trucks on Goa's roads, more on the way. It's reached a stage where the Superintendent of Traffic wrote a letter to the Chief of Police in April this year, saying that the number of trucks driving through the mining zone should be reduced by 50%. But the trucks have created overnight prosperity and local support.
भी इधर हमको कंपनी बहुत बेनिफिट दे रहा है, बच्चों के लिए जाने आने के लिए स्कूल का बस है, इधर पानी के लिए नल भी ये करता है, हफ्ता में 2-3 बार डॉक्टर आके इधर मेडिकल चेकअप करता है.
These men are willing to overlook the damage the mines have done.
माइनिंग जिधर रहता है उधर सब कुछ खराब होएगा ही होएगा. अभी मापसा में देखो, उधर भी पानी नहीं है. पानी आता है, हमको नल का पानी आता है, 2 टैंकी है हमारे पास, और वो पानी PW से सप्लाई होता है. उसका पैसा कौन दे रहा है? उसका कंपनी पे कर रहा है बिल पानी का.
In the same village, we witness an extraordinary sight. A crimson Maidan, an abandoned mine reservoir, has become a cricket pitch. On the edge of the field, we meet a village resident who says the truck drivers are being short-sighted.
हमारा गांव मांगता है, गांव बचाने का है. क्या रोजगारी मिलता है? एक 7-8 हजार पेमेंट मिलता है. वो दूर खाना बनता है, सब माइनिंग के रास्ते. वो आदमी बराबर नहीं सीख पड़ता है. 2 ग्रुप करके झगड़ा करता है गांव में.
They have used British policy, divide and rule, and that is strictly followed by each and every company.
Those divisions came to the surface at the public hearing of the Justice Shah Commission, set up to investigate illegal mining. when pro-mining voices, mostly the truck associations, sparred with the anti-group. But the Commission has done its own groundwork. The specific findings will take time, but top sources in the Shah Commission use strong language to describe their preliminary take of mining violations in Goa. They told Ndtv that everything is wrong at all stages. There are many illegalities. The enforcement of the law is wrong, and that the state government is making excuses. Elections in Goa are due early next year, and if these wordings find their way into the final Shah report, the Congress High Command and its beleaguered Chief Minister will find themselves running out of excuses.
This is a list, sir, of all the mining which is going on through what is called raising contractors.
Their internal understanding with them, probably. They have not put them on record with us.
Sir, the other illegality or the violation is this list, which has the list of all those who've been overproducing over their capacity.
So we have now asked them to give details of the return.
But do you have the capacity to also go and check many of these things on the ground?
There are various agencies involved in this. It is only not the Directorate of Mines.
A large number of politicians, some including ministers in your government, are involved in mining activity.
I personally do not think there is anything.
So you're very much here to stay?
God will decide.
Given the current political climate, an adverse report is bound to have serious political repercussions for the Chief Minister and also for Goa's mining industry. But also given the deep links that have emerged between Goa's political class and the mining sector, it's unclear whether the removal of an individual will radically alter the dynamics that have brought it to this crisis. Some would say elections are around the corner, but others would say that is unlikely to bring any change at all.